Well, good morning. It is about 5:42 and we are both very much alive. It wasn't that bad. Definitely a couple times where, I'd wake up and it felt cold. But other than that, not bad. It's about 6:10 here, so it's 7:10 back home. But we're all packed and we're all ready to go.
It's a pretty morning. The birds are chirping.
It is a pretty morning. The birds are chirping.
We didn't die last night or freeze to death. My toes got a little cold, but I realized this morning that's because the foot blanket fell off the bed. So
yeah, there's a couple times where my feet were a little cold. There's a couple times where I would wake up because like my torso and my back were like probably the hottest out of all of it. I mean, I remember waking up a couple times and being like, oh, why is my back so hot? And I contemplated actually taking off my sweatshirt, but at the same time my feet and my body, or my legs, were gently reminding me how cold it was outside. So I didn't. I just suffered through it. And I had to go to the bathroom really, really, really bad.
but you didn't.
But no, I didn't. I actually contemplated just opening the front and just literally peeing right outside. I didn't care. But I didn't. And yeah, so I think we're gonna stop for coffee somewhere, something warm.
Yes. Yes.
And then we're going to head back.
Yay!
I think all in all, it was a successful trip.
That was awesome. I'm so glad we came.
There's definitely some things like I wish we could have hiked more, and honestly maybe stayed another night.
Yeah.
As long as it didn't storm through, because the storm was probably.
Yeah, that was a huge blessing. There weren't any storms after that one. If we'd actually had to sleep in the tent while a storm like that was going on, I don't know what we would have done.
Yeah. I will say, last night actually, there were several times where before I actually fell asleep, there's several times where I was like, oh my gosh, there's an animal sniffing outside our freaking tent, like no joke.
The tarp underneath like makes the sound like someone's footsteps, and there was times I was like, there is literally someone walking outside of our tent waiting to kill us.
I did have several sharp objects within reach in case I heard someone either unzipping our tent flap or like cutting through the tent. I was like, I will stab the living heck out of whatever is coming through that tent. Anyway, I guess we'll see you at home.
Yeah, or if anything else exciting happens on our road trip home.
Of whatever.
Okay.
And Emily found this place called Daylight Donuts. It's a cool little bakery. If you ever are in Shadrach, yeah, I would definitely stop by at least once. They have these coffee espresso.
And not that expensive either.
Not that expensive.
Big sizes.
16 and 20 ounce. And then they also have, oh yeah, you saw the bag of donuts. Donuts. So.
Which is the way to Jeremiah's heart.
It is literally the way to my heart.
And his clogged arteries.
And my clogged arteries. Anyway, we're going to partake in our snackies. But I would give a review after we eat into them, but I guarantee you it's going to be good.
Delicious.
Delish.
Cute place. Okay.
So this question just popped up in my head, so I decided to ask it. If you were in a band, and you were like the lead singer, you decided what the band was called, what would you call your band?
Ooh, what would I name?
What style of music would you play, and what would you call your band? 2-word names I think is stretching it, and I don't know if I'm a big fan of like having not adjectives, but like the or a or those kinds of words in front of band names. So
I know what band would be named.
What's your name?
Charlotte.
Okay. Charlotte and the Tree Folks?
Just for you, our first album will be called In the Tree Folks.
So as we were coming up to Valentine, I was telling Emily it would be awesome if we had another day or another night at least. It would be awesome to go to the Niobrara State Park and go camping, because you can camp right along the river. There's hiking bluffs that you can go into. It's really cool. And I was thinking about the last time I was there. First time I was there, I was in 8th grade when I went. I don't remember that at all, except that was, I think I shared earlier, that was like the worst camping experience that I've ever had, because it rained, it soaked our sleeping bags. Me and 2 other dudes shared a towel as a blanket, a damp towel, and I woke up in the towel, like I didn't have the towel, so it was really miserable and cold and wet. I also went in 2008, the fall of 2008. I was actually right after the summer with a bunch of friends, and that was actually really fun. I think we went tubing, and we went it was like a 3-hour tubing. So that was pretty good. There's great memories of that. And then I think the last time I've been, and then we went in 2007. That was when me, Sean, Shane, and Eli went. We did like the 8-hour tubing tour. Not advisable, only because like the first 5 hours are fun. You know, you can relax, you can chill, you can play in the water. It's really fun. You can stop at different like waterfalls and sites. The last like 3.5, 4 hours was miserable. We were all hot and just like tired. I think we had eaten all our food. We were sunburned. So we're just sitting there in our tubes. It's like, we look like survivors. I think Eli had like taken his shirt and wrapped it around his head. We looked like, people who were just survived out in the wilderness for a couple days. And every bend that we went around, we were like, oh, is this it? Is this our campground? And we were like, oh, no, it's not. So we're all like, dejected. So that was fun. And then 2008 happened. And then actually in 2009, I went back with my brother Eli, his girlfriend at the time, Bailey.
Wife now.
And then his wife now. And then Sean Loftus and actually some of his family. And we went and we did tubing again. That was fun, but that was the year that I had burned half my face from just being stupid and playing around with camp fuel. And that's a whole nother story. So if you see ahead in front of us, the road, like just how straight it goes, and then actually behind us, if you can kind of see how straight this road has been. But as far as like just how straight this goes, it's kind of boring. It's a really hard drive if you're like tired. Fortunately, I'm just jamming out and not tired, so.
I'm napping.
And Emily's napping. So helpful.